Can you smell that over there? I know you can't smell that, but can you? Give me a yes.
Yeah.
Give me a, that is pungent and aromatic. You can smell all those herbs in there, all the spices from the curry paste. Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Jane DeGraff and today I am going to show you how to make one of my favourite midweek meals because it really is super easy and that's what we're all about here. Yeah, we're all about easy?
Yep.
And I mean that in the best possible kind of easy. Not like the easy.
Or not.
Or not, however you want to say it. So I'm gonna make Thai fish cakes today because I recently put a picture of these up on my Instagram account and I had so many people DMing me asking for the recipe that I thought, why don't I just show you how it's done? Because this really is a recipe that we use a lot in our household. You don't even like fish and you eat these, am I right?
Am I right?
Am I right? Yeah. I am, yeah. You're notoriously not really into fish, don't like anything that tastes overly fishy, but I serve these and you, what do?
Put them in my mouth.
Put them in your mouth and eat them and you love them. Our kids eat these as well and they're super quick to make, so I'm just gonna crack on and do it. What we're starting with is some white fish fillets. You can use any kind of fish fillets that you can get your hands on, ling, perch, anything like that. These are some hoki fillets that I got frozen from the supermarket. They're MSC certified, so they are sustainable, which to me is very important, but you get the fish that you like to use. And this recipe really you can interchange whatever fish you've got and whatever fish you like. So we're gonna pop those straight into our food processor. Don't need to be precious about this because it's all going to get blended up into a paste. Then here we've got some yellow curry paste. Now I use the Valcom variety because that's just what we keep in the house, and you can use red curry paste, green curry paste. I'm using yellow curry paste today because it's not too spicy for our kids. And whilst they like these fish cakes, they will complain if they burn their face off. So we go a little bit milder with our yellow curry paste. Have I ever burnt their faces off?
No, they've still got their faces.
They've still got their faces? Oh, good. I'm glad they've still got their faces. This is some rice flour. And this is going to soak up any moisture in the patties and help us get them to a consistency where we can shape them and cook them. So I'm going to put a little bit of this in now, and then I'm just going to hold on to some of it in case I need to add it. Because sometimes you can't really tell what the moisture level is going to be, how big your pieces of fish are, how wet your herbs are, all those kinds of things. I'm going to add in some chopped up green onions here, or spring onions. I'm going to keep some for garnish as well, but I put those in like that. And now, I'm not even going to be precious. This is a whole lot of coriander. I'm just going to rip the top off and rip it in. I like quite a lot of herb in anything I cook. I over-herb sometimes, don't I? I think it's safe to say I have a herb kind of like problem. Would you call it a herb problem?
Yeah.
Like a weird addiction. I have this really strong belief that herbs are an ingredient, not a garnish. And I say this to anyone that will listen. Don't put my little piece of parsley on top. If I'm having parsley, I want parsley the whole way through. And I'm the same with the very controversial coriander. Some people don't really like it. If I'm putting it in, I go hard. That's what you do, right? You go hard or you go home with herbs. You're nodding, but I need a yes.
Yep.
Good. That's what we do with herbs in this house. This is some freshly squeezed lime juice. Now I'm just going to pop a little bit in because, as I said before, we don't want these to be too wet. Then we need a dash of fish sauce. Wow, that's pungent. A little dash of that. You don't want to hurt people with the fishy smell. Now that just gives it depthness and richness. It's not going to add too much of a fishy flavour. Have you got your hand up for a reason?
What's depthness? Depthness?
No, I said, didn't I say depth and flavour?
Ness.
Gives it depth and complexity of flavour. Thanks for that. And we're going to crack one egg in as well. Now the egg will bind it all together and help it stick to itself when we're turning it into our patties in a minute. Now, did I add everything? Yes, I did. Now it is as easy as pop the lid on and blend it up. But I got to be quiet for this bit, so hang on a second. How quick was that? What I'm going to do here is just poke the sides down and check how wet it is. Now, I don't like to keep going. You can keep going until this is a really smooth paste, but I don't mind big flecks of green herb in mine because, as I said, I like my herbs. It's a little bit too wet for my liking, so I'm going to add some more of the rice flour at this stage. Very quiet. This is really dusty. Don't breathe in or you'll choke. Whew. And away we go. That's cooking better. Did that just puff out some rice flour? I think I lifted the lid and I got this. Oh, but if you could smell that, that is so fragrant with herbs and spices and all good things, all the good things. Now I reckon, do I want to add a little bit more? No, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to see if I've got some really wet patties going on here. This is quite a forgiving recipe, and I'm going to say that now, and it's going to prove me wrong in about 5 seconds. This is quite a forgiving recipe. You can, if you've accidentally made it too dry, which is the other thing that can happen, you can just add an extra egg, and that'll wetten. Nah, that'll wet it up for you. See, now that you've made fun of my, now I can't talk. You've made, which is very unusual for me. Now that you've questioned me, I'm going to be standing here overthinking everything that I'm saying.
You just didn't want to say the M word.
Moist.
Yeah.
Moist. All right, this is another problem that I have.
Oh.
You've got me going now. You've got me going. Along with herbs being an ingredient, not a garnish, moist is a word that a lot of people don't like. There, I've said it. But in relation to food, sometimes it is the only word that will describe something, if you can talk. Sometimes it's the only word that will describe something. A moist chocolate mud cake is a good thing, people. You don't want a damp cake. You don't want a wet cake.
Soggy.
You don't want a soggy cake. So sometimes it is the right word. Get over it. Have I made my point?
Yes.
You look offended.
No.
It's important. Can you tell that one's been busting to just come out?
Well, we'll edit that bit out.
Oh, why? It's the truth. And if you don't like it, you can tell me in the comments below and suggest an appropriate substitute. Don't want no complaining if you don't have an alternative for me that's good. Okay? Sorry, and I know I'm yelling, but I feel quite passionately about this. All right, here's our... I need to just...
How's the fish cakes?
All right, fish cakes. Less controversial topic. They are... Yep, it's looking like a really great consistency. So what I'm going to do now is make sure that my grill is nice and hot. I am cooking these on a sandwich grill today because I found that it works quite well. I'm going to put a little tiny bit of oil on my grill. You don't strictly speaking need this, but I like the hot spots that the oil creates and the little brown patches. There we go. So just oil the grill up a little bit. Don't worry, I won't spill the oil. I know you're worried about my hands going everywhere like they always do. So let me I'm going to try and do this without making too much of a mess, she says. Famous last words. Let me bring this a little bit closer over here and shuffle this out of the way. Like this. Here we go. So what you want to do with this is shape it into a reasonably sized patty. And you don't need to make them too thin. They cook through beautifully. I'm going to go with one that size and onto the grill. Oh, listen to that hiss. There you go, my beauty. Now, sometimes when you're turning these, you need to be a little bit delicate with them, but they are worth babying them along a little bit just to make sure that you sort of hold the shape with them. Can you smell that over there? I know you can't smell that, but can you? Give me a yes.
Yeah.
Give me a, that is pungent and aromatic. You can smell all those herbs in there, all the spices from the curry paste. Now, I was worried that the first time I made these, I was worried that the kids wouldn't like them, that they would be too strong in flavour. But actually, the fish carries the flavours beautifully. It's a great way to get fish into the diet of kids that might not like it that much. What children are those? Doesn't every child adore fish? Said no mother ever. I've got one of our 2 children adores fish and will fight me. He fought me tonight, didn't he?
Yep.
Fought to take my fish curry tonight. We were having a green curry with fish in it. And he fought me for the fish. And the other one, no, won't eat it. I don't like fish, mummy. And if you give him something that you've hidden fish in, he'll eat it, but he doesn't like the idea of fish. And so as soon as he catches the idea that there's fish in it, I don't like it. I don't like it. Buddy, you've been eating it. Anyway.
Don't know where he gets it from.
Oh, from you! From you. When you started going, when he was very little, oh, I don't like fish. Do Do you know what? Saying you don't like fish is like saying you don't like cake. There's so many different varieties out there that until you've tried them all, you can't categorically tell me that you don't like them. Besides, you like these.
I do like it.
You do. Right, I'm just going to pop this out of the way. And now all we're going to do is, oh, my hands smell like coriander and lemongrass and chili, all the good things that go into a beautiful Thai curry. All right, let's see how these babies are going. Give it a bit of a poke. Oh, so good. Yes. They're nearly done. I'm just going to give them a little bit longer. A time check. How long do you reckon we've been going for? 15 minutes?
Yes.
About 15 minutes. I've been talking the whole time, taking my time, and really just sidetracking and distracting everybody. This is a really quick dinner to make. You don't have very much to do. It really is into the blender and then into the pan. And I promise you, if you come home from work and you're tired and you don't know what to cook, but you feel like something light and vibrant, this is a really easy meal. And once you've done it once, you'll be like, why don't I do this all the time? And you'll be like us. You'll be force feeding them to your children in no time. All right. So those are nearly ready to serve up. I've just got some mint on the side here, more herbs. That is not garnish, that is an ingredient, and I'm going to eat it with my fish cakes. There, I've said my piece. All right, look at this. Oop, here we go. Let's line these babies up on the plate, because that's it. That's the whole story right there. To you next. Can I move the forks? Oh, I'm no good at this framing thing, am I? I walk out a shot, I pick things up and put them right in front of stuff. All right. Can you see I'm focused on the food and not the look of the thing? I am going to pop this one off to one side because I don't want to... I like 3s on plates. So this one's for you. This is the spare one that I'll just pop over here out of the way because I don't want to ruin the symmetry of my dish. Now, all I'm going to do is do a bit of this, a little bit of chili sauce. Little bit, she says, and then proceeds to put the whole thing on. Oh my goodness, the fragrance here is just incredible. Bit of a dot. Should I be artistic and do the dots?
Smear, please.
I can't smear this. It doesn't have smear consistency. It's got dot consistency. Dot consistency. And then a little bit of onion because why not? More flavour, more colour. Always more colour on the plate. The more colourful your food, the more delicious it is first and foremost, and then secondly, the better it is for you. Because all those... No, I'm not going to do it. I was going to start talking vitamins and minerals, but you know what? This is about flavour. We're going to stick with the flavour. That's it. That's my meal. That's my dinner done. And this would have made, just let me have a look at my, that would have probably made 2 more, so that's 4. This made about 6, and that was out of 2 fish fillets. Made about 6 of them, but you can make them smaller or bigger. You can just add extra fish into it. Like I said, it's a very versatile recipe. Oh, I forgot my spring onions. Also not garnish, also an ingredient that's in there. And I would just serve this with a herby salad. A very, very herby salad. That's it. Where's my knife and fork? Let's do this. I gotta taste it. I gotta taste it. Does it look pretty? Did I do a good job?
Beautiful.
Does that look presentable for like a, pick a random night of the week? Thursday, for a Thursday night meal. I'm sorry, can't wait any longer. I'm just gonna cut a little bit off the back one here. Am I allowed to eat now? Did you get what you came for? You know how to make these now. I'll put the recipe down below. You can ask me questions if you've got questions. But in the meantime, what I'm gonna do, oh, look at that. Look at that. I'm gonna add a bit of everything because all the things, it's what you want, right? All the flavors. And are we ready? Eating elegantly is always tricky, but this is not about elegance, it's about flavor. Let's do it. So good. If I made an entire batch of that and there was no one else around, I would eat all of them on my own. That is incredibly good. Thank you so much for joining me for the fun food, the delicious food, the joyful food. I hope you got something out of it. Please take a look at the recipe. Let me know if you've got any questions, and I will see you next time. And if we're done, I'm just going to keep right on eating. I have to fight Rushy for these, won't I? I have to fight the little one for them.